Never forget, God our Father in heaven and Jesus, Yeshua Christ, will forgive you for almost any evil sin that you do or did, and repent from that sin all at once or gradually until you quit. Also, ask them for forgiveness and repent. This video is called How to Cast Out Demons. Remember, back in the day, well, I'm like 40 something years old, so a lot of you may not be that old, but back in the day, probably if you around my age, your parents taught you to pray over food. During that time, it was rare a pastor had sermons about how to get money, jobs, or any material things. Now the average Christian's secret motivation is to pray for more material things. Just think about it. They pray for God for material things, but they facilitate abortion. It's backwards. And actually, probably a third of the average Christian pray more for material things than praying over their own food. Or their own family's food. Those prayers over food is timeless and ancient. Also, this type of prayer is powerful and probably critical for good health. But to have enough spiritual rank of power, you must tilt your overall sins to reduction, at least. You don't need a specific method to achieve that. Also, you need to keep the Sabbath day holy once a week. This means no sin one day a week from sun up right until the sun comes back up the next day. This is probably more than 24 hours. And to understand a day with God is to read the book of Genesis, I think the first chapter, maybe the second chapter. And also includes eating a holy diet. So you have to understand what a holy diet is and at least start that once a week on the Sabbath day. Also, you need to pay some tithes and or some offerings every week. You got to show God you consistent. You may not have to pay all of it, but be faithful and give him something every week. And particularly the bread of heaven is the highest honor, the highest way to pay tithes and offerings, but also paying tithes and offerings to a pastor that is not a Democrat is good. Just start somewhere, $1 a week, and or maybe try $1 a week, 50 cents if you have to. And like I said, get some bread of heaven. This feeding poor people who can't pay you back or helping poor people financially. Google bread of heaven. This is probably the most powerful way to get spiritual rank in the spiritual realm. Doing these things give your prayers pure power from God. This is also how you know you are really saved, when your overall sin count is reducing. The specific sin count doesn't matter as much. The lifestyle you choose determines how much spiritual power or rank you have in the spiritual realm. Go to Matthew chapter 8, verse 14 through 16. And when Jesus, Yeshua Christ, was come into Peter's house, he saw his wife's mother laid and sick of a fever. And he touched her hand, and the fever left her, and she arose and ministered unto them. When the evening was come, they brought unto him many that were possessed with devils, and he cast out the spirits with his word, and healed all that were sick. When God the Creator created this world, it was from the spiritual realm, because he was already created to create this earth. So every good or bad thing in this world is attached to something in the spiritual realm. So when what you saw read in the previous scriptures about many that were possessed with devils, and he cast out the spirits with his word, could be translated just sick people. You know, that's just all it is. So praying over food is actually casting out demons. Basically, praying to heal anything or fix anything is casting out demons. Nothing bad can happen on earth without some evil force attached to it from the spiritual realm. But the evil Catholics and Hollywood that is controlled by Satan, and that current pope has been appointed by Satan, are clever trying to influence people from the real truth. The Catholic Church is a sponsor of the movie Exorcist, and also is an executive producer. I read it somewhere years ago. So what the Catholics want you to believe, demons and devils are what is in the movie, instead of regular sickness or something common. Many things in your home has demons attached to it, like blue jeans. Blue jeans alone cause so much sin, and probably majority of abortions are linked to men and women being attracted to someone wearing jeans. Brand name clothes like Polo, Izod, Lacrosse, and others. You must right now pray over on your knees and ask God to unattach the demons to all those brand name clothes you bought. And in that prayer, Jesus, Yeshua Christ of Nazareth name. Artwork like sculptures and things similar like trophies has demons attached to it. Jewelry also have some demons attached to it. Pray over it. Cast those demons out. Ask the Father in heaven and Jesus to unattach all demons that came with them. In that prayer, Jesus, Yeshua Christ of Nazareth name. And last but not least, pray to the Father in heaven to purify and unattach demons in every meal that you eat. Never forget to prepare and purify your life to be raptured up in the rapture. It is the modern day Moses. Have a blessed day.